If you've been paying attention to AI lately, you probably noticed that every week seems to introduce some new term. Agents, you've heard that talked about, skills, automations, copilots, workflows, all these different things that go into AI. For many business owners and consulting leaders, the challenge is no longer deciding whether AI matters. I think it's becoming more and more clear that it actually does. The challenge is understanding what all these terms actually mean and how they apply to the way work gets done inside your business. One of the reasons AI feels confusing is that people, I think, often talk about it as though it's one thing. In reality, AI is better thought of as a collection of capabilities that can be applied to different operational challenges. I've found that one of the simplest ways to understand AI is through three categories: skills, automations, and agents. That's the core, I think. Let's start with skills. A skill is simply a capability that performs a specific task. Think of it like hiring someone to do one job exceptionally well. A skill might summarize a meeting, draft an email, research a prospect, maybe extract information from a document, or create a proposal outline. The important thing to understand is that a skill performs a task. It doesn't manage an entire business process. For example, after a client meeting, an AI skill can create meeting notes, identify action items, and draft a follow-up email. The workflow remains the same. The task simply becomes faster and more consistent. The second category is process automation. While skills perform tasks, automations move information through a workflow. Their purpose is to connect systems, trigger actions, and eliminate repetitive administrative work. Imagine a prospect fills out a form on your website. An automation can create a CRM record from that form, send a welcome email, notify appropriate team members, schedule a follow-up task, and add the prospect to a newsletter list. Nothing particularly complex is happening, but the workflow moves forward without requiring manual effort. The third category is AI agents. Agents are receiving a lot of attention right now because they combine multiple skills and actions to achieve a broader objective. Rather than performing a single task, an agent can work through a series of tasks or activities. For example, a sales agent might review a prospect's website, examine their LinkedIn presence, gather public information, summarize findings, identify opportunities, and recommend the next best action for the sales team. The agent is working toward an outcome rather than completing just one task. This is what makes them so powerful. This is where much of the confusion begins. People hear about agents and assume they're replacing everything else. In reality, agents rely on skills and automations to accomplish their work. Skills perform tasks. Automations move information. Agents coordinate multiple activities towards a goal. Each serves a specific purpose. And this leads to what I believe is the most important point. Successful AI adoption rarely begins with technology. It begins with understanding how work currently happens inside your organization. Before selecting tools, building automations, or deploying agents, it's important to understand the workflows, decisions, and handoffs that already exist. Because in many cases, the challenge isn't finding the right AI tool. In fact, it really never is. The challenge is understanding the workflow well enough to know where AI, some element of it, actually belongs. In the next article and presentation, we'll explore exactly that. We'll look at where AI fits inside marketing, sales, onboarding, knowledge management, and operational workflows, so you can begin identifying practical opportunities inside your organization. If you'd like to learn more about AI-ready workflows, download the free ebook, The Competitive Advantage, AI-Powered Workflow Design. The link is below.